All right, when in doubt, if you're confused about content and you don't even know where to start, even after the brainstorming session where you wrote everything out, when in doubt, use 3 bullets, okay? And this is, again, this is when in doubt. If you already have something that you feel good about, don't listen at all, okay? Number 1, something about curriculum, okay? Something about the curriculum that you have used, how you have modified it to meet the needs of students, something about, and how you've used, also with curriculum, how you've used assessment, right? Instruction and planning is another area that you can talk about. How you have, this is sort of similar to curriculum, but basically how you have planned your lessons, where you get the information to plan your lessons, what kind of accommodations you make, how you are reviewing data, how you are, whether or not you're collaborating with your peers, what type of strategies you're using with your students. Again, curriculum and instruction and planning are sort of similar. And then one about behavior and student discipline. Now, this is, for some reason, the area that a lot of teachers struggle with. I think my theory is because sometimes teachers don't actually have a structured way of dealing with student behavior and discipline, is they just have these, they just do what they do. They just do what works, and it doesn't come from anywhere specific. Maybe it comes from experience or it comes from instincts. Whatever it is, you just want to showcase whatever systems you're using, right? Whether it's, you know, systems of, whether it's the dojo class point system, whether you're using positive narration, maybe you derive all of your student behavior, everything that you do is derived from Teach Like a Champion, or from, you know, or maybe you're culturally responsive and that's something that you really feel strongly about, you know a lot about it, and these are the things that you do in your classroom. Actually, that would really go under curriculum, maybe. Maybe it's behavior and student discipline. Maybe neither. Maybe you want to talk about how you build relationships with students, maybe extra activities that you do, systems that you have for, you know, reward or consequences, things like that. You have ways of doing it. You just don't really, you might just not be thinking about it. So just make sure that you include something like that. And the reason is because they want to get an idea of whether or not you are a fit for their school. They might have a very specific model for student discipline. Okay, and it just gives them an idea a little bit more about who you are. Couple things about cover letters. We're not talking about cover letters during this workshop, just because it could be a whole separate workshop, and a lot of times they don't even ask for them. Only send them upon request. The reason being that if they're not asking you for a cover letter, they're probably not going to read it, and it's just a huge waste of your time. Okay, that's just my opinion about it. A lot of times they don't ask for it because they know that they don't have time to read it. So if they ask for it, include it. And you want to just make sure that it's tailored to each opportunity. Even if it's just one paragraph, what I always tell people to do is have one cover letter that you use that's for a certain type of position, for each type of position that you're looking for, and then just have one paragraph that you change that has like a couple sentences in it that are specific for that school. And then maybe a couple times throughout the cover letter, you know, you insert the name of that school or whatever it is. Few more things that so if you have to send a cover letter, if you have to, and honestly, it's a toss up for me, which one is worse, cover letters or resumes? Both are torture, honestly. But I would say cover letters might even be worse because you don't even know if they're reading them or not. Make sure that you, in your introduction, you state your purpose, and your purpose is to apply for this position. You want to be specific because they're probably hiring for multiple positions, okay? So you want to say who you are and what position you are applying for. You want to highlight your relevant experience, okay? So if this is a school that has 70% English language learners, you want to highlight the work that you've done with English language learners. If they are heavy on project-based learning, you want to talk about your that's your experiences with project-based learning and how, you know, committed you are to it. Don't lie, but I'm saying there's a reason that you're applying there. You want to make sure that that's clear in your cover letter. You want to talk about why that school is a good fit for you, which leads me to my next point, which is what excites you about the school. So go through their social media, go do a Google search for them, just find a couple things that you find are interesting about the school, and just include one of them. Something that sparks your interest about that school. You want to use examples from your own experiences whenever possible, things that you have done that are relevant. And then also explain in the best way possible if you have any glaring questions. So any huge gaps in your resume, or if you're a career changer, or if you left a position mid-year, you just want to do a quick explanation of that so that you can kind of have the opportunity to explain that, because that's going to be the first thing that they're wondering when they look at your resume. So here's one more model resume, and then we're going to move on to, I think, formatting and or aesthetics. So this teacher has 4 years experience. They did TFA, and now they have been a school leader for the past 2 years. Okay, so just take a look at this model resume. Sometimes it's nice to just see like what a resume should look like, but also tell me if you have any feedback, because it could probably be improved even more. Here is your model resume, and just respond. I'll give you about 2 minutes to look through it and just post if you have any questions or any thoughts about this resume. Okay, so about 2 minutes for this one.